Okay, welcome everyone to this, the 10,000 Repairs Online Show and Share. In a moment, I will share with you what we're going to cover today. But first of all, just a quick reminder of why we do these show and shares. Next slide, please. As you can see there, an opportunity for the team to celebrate what they've achieved, demo any working software, and share information on progress made. But most importantly, it's an opportunity for you, our collaborators and supporters, to provide us with feedback and ask any questions that you may have. So what we're going to cover today, well, in a moment, I'll just remind you who is in our core team, share our vision before handing over to El Villamarte, our senior engineer, who will give you an update on the system of monitoring and alerting that we've implemented. El will then give you an update on the MVP itself before handing over to Fraser Trickett, our product owner, who will give an update on the wider project activities that we're engaged with outside of the MVP build. I'll then just give a quick summary of progress made in the current sprint and what our focus will be for the next, before giving you the opportunity, before then handing over to Fraser, who will tell you how you can engage with this project, before giving you the opportunity to provide us with any feedback and ask any questions that you may have. Next slide. So who is in the core team? So we have Fraser Trickett, our product owner from Lincoln Council, myself, Paul Clemson, delivery manager from Maytech, Leon Aki, who's our engagement manager from DLUC Local Digital and who are funding this project, Bhavesh Patel, our lead engineer from Maytech, Wendy Banks, our business analyst from Lincoln Council, Jayed Amataja, who is head of digital at Southwark Council, El Villamarte, our senior engineer from Maytech, Jim Bowen, who is representing the IT Thistle Group, and finally, Mesa Canoni, our engineer from Maytech. So what is our vision? Well, it's to design and build a reusable and accessible online repair reporting tool that requires no login, and most importantly, residents prefer to use as it meets their needs. A tool that is integratable with various scheduling systems through open, scalable and accessible APIs, enabling a tool we hope to be adopted by local authorities across the UK. I'll now hand over to El.
So this sprint, we've been implementing monitoring and alerting on all of our APIs and the front-end system. Monitoring and alerting will allow us to identify problems anywhere in our system and support rapid remediation to quickly identify issues and minimize the system downtime. So here on the screen, you can see sort of an example of what sort of alerts we get. And this particular exception was caused by one of our testers using a wrong phone number or email address. So right now our system is in test. Therefore, our GovNotify account will only send notifications to contacts on a pre-approved list. Also, we've as a result of introducing this alerting tool, we have been able to identify that that whenever we try and log a damp repair, a bug happens. So we've been working on fixing that as well, and it should be ready to use properly probably next week. Next slide, please. Now on the MVP side, we've basically completed all the journeys, allowing the users to log 127 different repairs spread out across 5 rooms. And all of these repairs map to 63 SOR codes. On the sort of prototype side, we've changed the scripted buttons to say, we've removed the scripted buttons, so now the user will just be able to see continue. We've made all of our heading sizes and text consistent throughout the application and included a nice loader. So when things are happening in the background, the user can visually see that something is actually happening. All of these changes are a little bit too much to demo, so we're talking about them now. Now Fraser will talk about the wider project.
Cheers, El. Thank you very much. So I guess the real big news for us is that we've put in our next application in line with the continuous funding model that DLUC are offering. So fingers crossed for us on that one that we're successful on that front. Our main priorities for that next round, assuming we are successful, is to consider amending and cancelling an appointment. The real important thing with that one is without forcing a login still. So it's about how we know the user is who they say they are. We've done some early wireframes on that and got some good ideas around it, but hoping to progress that some more. Also, a real big priority for us is expanding this out so that we start on the housing management system API layer, so that we can consider creating the jobs within backend systems and remove any manual processes in this as a whole, and hopefully enrich the customer experience by pulling back more data and information, such as are they a leaseholder or are there types of repairs, are there any risk flags, etc. against that. Moving on, we're also looking at doing repairs for communal areas. I'm sure some of you in our sector will understand the complexities of that, in that users can be reporting the same issue. So it's about how we kind of handle that, and also identifying the types of repairs that are applicable for communal repairs. So that's going to be a nice little project to get our teeth into, and also allowing leaseholders to report repairs. And again, if we can get that housing API layer lookup working for us, we'll be able to smooth that process out, identify if they are a leaseholder, and only again show possible repair types that are applicable to leaseholders too. What we really hope to achieve by that is that the main types of repairs are covered for local authorities, again increasing our opportunity for adoption and reuse on this. So stay tuned for that one. We'll let you guys know as soon as we can do about whether we've been successful or not in that, so watch this space. And we're also starting to work now with Newark and Sherwood, who are a new partner for the project. We're hoping over the next couple of sprints to understand their test environment and to get a really good understanding of what we do have in place at the moment, how they can take and adopt that. We've had some early conversations, run through the prerequisites with them, so we've kind of hit the ground running with that one. Hopefully we'll have an update on it soon. And lastly, really important one is we've booked in some penetration testing against the service that we're offering to ensure that not only is the authority's data nice and safe and secure, and that there isn't possible ways back in, but also the handling of any customer data within this is handled in an appropriate way. So hopefully, again, we'll have an update on that over the coming weeks when that's been completed. Hand back to you, Paul.
Thanks, Fraser. So a quick summary of the progress made in the current sprint. As you've heard, we've now built all the remaining MVP pages. We've reworked the MVP pages that were built based on prototype v3, and now they align to prototype v4. The core team have tested the MVP and provided feedback. We've set up monitoring and alerting. We've also presented to DLUC our continuous funding application, and we're waiting an answer on that. And we've been preparing for the next phase. So working with Newark and Sherwood to ensure everything is set up for a successful start to that project. And we've identified and fixed any bugs that have come out of the user testing. Next slide, please. And so our focus for the next sprint will be to complete the setup of system monitoring and alerting. So that includes health checks. We'll perform a tech spike to understand how repairs data can be extracted and reported, so therefore we can measure how successful we are. We're going to perform end-to-end user testing of the MVP with both tenants and customer service agents. We'll commence proving ease of replication, so that means taking the MVP that we've built for Lincoln and see how we can easily integrate that within Newark and Sherwood. And of course, we'll continue to prepare for the service going live in the coming weeks. And then finally, any further bugs that get identified through the user testing, we'll fix those. Next slide. I think it's back to you, Fraser.
It is indeed. My bi-weekly shout out saying please get involved with the project if you are interested, and also share this on any other communities and forums that you might think might have this reach and interest to. I post regularly on the local Gov Digital Slack channel. We've got our blog, which is shown up here. So yeah, please just shout out and share with colleagues at authorities anywhere that you think might be interested in this, so we can start to build this pipeline of authorities that can hopefully adopt this. It's hopefully going to get a bit more interesting after Lincoln's gone live as well, so we can start to share some of those metrics and hopefully give some comfort to any authority that's looking to adopt this about the impact that it can have on a service. But if somebody wants to get involved on this now, please give us a shout. Okay. So I've just seen a question pop through. So in terms of legacy systems at Lincoln, it is Civica Northgate, and at Newark it is Capita. In terms of how another local authority can get involved, if they reach out to either myself, go on through the website that we just displayed on screen. Let me come back a slide. So yeah, there's a contact us page on there. Ultimately, it'll just send an email through to me. And if an authority does want to get involved, we can have the conversation with them about at what level and at what speed, pace, etc. on there. Hopefully that answers the questions, Harriet. Any more questions from anyone?
You can either put them in the chat or just unmute yourselves. So there's another question there, Fraser, from Harriet.
Yeah, so it's open source product. The work that we're doing is going on to GitHub. Obviously, there could be license costs for some of these legacy systems. That could be via APIs, etc. in there. But yeah, in terms of the core product that's there, it's designed to be so that given some development skills, you can take that and reuse it where possible. Thank you. Just for info, Harriet, if you are interested, it might be worth jumping back onto our website and going back through some of the fairly recent show and shares that we've done on there, where we're talking about getting community and support groups set up for this and the support model in place for how we take this product forward post these next few rounds as well.
I do just have one more question.
Yeah, go for it.
Sorry. You were just talking about, can you go back a slide, please? Yeah. Oh no, the one before, sorry. I wasn't quite clear on, when you say set up monitoring and alerting, I wasn't quite sure what you mean by that.
I'll do my, go for it,
So by monitoring and alerting, we mean whenever, for example, if you're using if a user is using a website and an error page comes in, we will know why that error happened, and we will get a email saying, hey, something happened, which will allow us to go in and kind of fix that problem quickly. And another side of alerting will be, so we'll know when our system is down. So for example, say if one of the legacy integrations goes down, like if DRS was down, we will be able to, we'll have a notification saying it's down, so we could communicate that to our customers. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, great, thanks.
And it's been great that we've had this monitoring and alerting in place, because during the user testing, it was able to capture that certain journeys weren't completing correctly. So we was able to get that information and diagnose it and fix that issue straight away. So it's been a real bonus having it in place now. Thank you for your question, Harriet. Are there any other further questions? I see a hand raised.
You're on mute, Scott.
Yes. So yeah, it's all right. So yeah, obviously I'm going to have a bit. I've got the test system to have a go for the customer services side today. I've got some ideas that I'd like to run past Fraser about how we could use this internally as well. I'm thinking housing officers, etc., but how that would work. It would be my idea on it. As we rolled it out, I can see more uses, so it's kind of expanded my range of thought process about who could use this. But you know, housing officers could use it when visiting with. They've got laptops now. They could, when they're booking repairs, they could use it. But they wouldn't obviously need the full. They need like an internal version, so that the email trail bit didn't come through customer services. But I was hoping to catch some time with you to discuss that. Obviously, I'll have a play first and see have
Yeah.
a play with it this afternoon and see how it all works out. But yeah, I've got a couple of other ideas in. But I think it'd be good for you to maybe you could use that to advertise to the other councils as an alternative use for the system as well. Because I'm really positive about it. I think it's brilliant. A brilliant idea and a brilliant system. So I'm really looking forward to getting down and testing it. So I just
Cheers,
thought I'd make. All right.
Yeah, thank you. And just in answer to that, in some respect, that was part of the advantages of designing this around the way that we have, in that it has as wide a reach in terms of use as possible. So there was always that hope and intention that either estate officers, maybe repair operatives themselves, can perhaps use this as a way to book in repairs for customers, and also carers, etc. Things like that, or opportunities like that might be really useful for those kind of customers.
Okay, is there any further questions or even feedback that anyone wants to provide? If not, then thanks everyone for attending, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.